Stephanie. How are you? I'm
Hi.
Wilde.
Nice to meet
Nice to
you.
meet you. I am the Human Resources Manager here at Wilde, Inc. I'll be the one doing the interview today. Just to tell you a little bit about Wilde, we do food service and janitorial supplies. We do contract commercial and industrial food service equipment and food facility design.
Okay.
At the Human Resources Assistant position, basically what you'll be doing, you'll be recruiting, you'll be dealing with paperwork, you'll be directly involved with the interview process, and then you'll be working with technology to post new jobs.
Okay.
Okay, the interview process takes about 20 to 30 minutes. I'll begin by asking you introduction questions, just me trying to get to know you, and then I'll ask you a few situational questions to see how you acted and how a situation was resolved in past situations. Feel free to ask any questions when they come to you, but I'll give you an open opportunity at the end to make sure you know about us and any questions you have to answer or ask. Okay? Ready to get started?
Yes.
Walk us through your resume. What do you believe is the most important experience you've had in any position that highlights your fit for the Human Resources Assistant position?
Well, my current position right now as a Human Resources Assistant, it greatly prepares me for this position. I work directly under a generalist, which allows me to tap into every aspect of the HR field. We do compensation, payroll, recruiting, employee relations, anything that has to do with HR, we deal with it. And I think that having that experience prepared me for taking on more tasks and responsibilities as an HR assistant here.
Awesome. Okay, speaking of your current position, in your boss's opinion, what would you say your strengths are?
Well, she always tells me that I'm fast. I'm really fast and efficient. So when she gives me something or a project to do, I like to get it done right away, and I like to be very accurate when I do things for her. And she also tells me that I'm very punctual and I'm just an overall great worker.
Okay. And with that, what would you say she would describe your weaknesses as?
I believe she will describe my weaknesses as being, I guess, too nice. I'm always wanting to please people all the time, and a lot of times when you're working in human resources, you have to do what's in the best interest for the company. So a lot of times I do it with what's in the best interest for the employee, but it may not be for the company.
Okay. Do you agree with what you think your boss would say, or do you say you have other strengths or weaknesses?
I agree. I definitely agree. And the weaknesses is something that I'm working on. I have to work on. Being in HR, that's the number one thing that you do, have to look in the best interest of the company, and that's one thing that I am working on.
Awesome. This position requires the use of Microsoft Word, Excel, and Outlook. I'm sure you used all those. It's a technology-friendly era.
Yes.
How would you rate your skill level in these areas?
Well, for all of them, when I first started working as the HR assistant, where I work now, I worked in Word and PowerPoint, and I didn't have a lot of experience in Excel, but I've been working there for almost a year now, and I've gained a lot of experience doing a lot of tables in Excel and in Word. I'm trying to develop more experience and trying to be more efficient in it. Right now, I would say that I have a great understanding of how the programs work and what they can provide for a person.
Can you describe your most complex task that you've done with these tools in the past?
Oh, well, like I said, when I first started at the company I work for now, my supervisor gave me a task to create a table, and I had no idea how to create a table in Excel. And it took me a while, about a whole day, to figure out how to create the table and to input the data that was needed in the table and to produce results that she needed. Of course, I asked her for help, letting her know that I didn't have a lot of experience with Excel, and she was always willing to help me. But I was always willing to go the extra mile to ask her questions if I didn't understand something. So that was my most complex task I have to do in those programs.
Okay. Like you said earlier, you have a little bit of experience with recruitment in your in your current position. What is your main way of recruiting others?
My main way of recruiting others, we post on various websites such as MilwaukeeJobs.com. We post on the Archdiocese website, and we also have another website called PeopleSoft, I believe, and she does most of the posting. And what I do is when a person applies to a job, they send the resume through my email, and I kind of scan the resume and then send it on to the managers of that position.
Okay. So you don't use like any social media, or do you do job fairs or anything?
We don't do job fairs. Our social media site is up and coming, so we're looking to vamp that out so that we can reach out to more people, because I know social media is booming.
Yeah. Definitely.
And that's one way that we can reach qualified applicants.
The hours for this position are 8:30 in the morning till 5 o'clock p.m. Is there anything that would keep you from being available during these hours? I know you're still a student. Would that get in the way or anything?
No, right now my classes are in the evening, so they'll give me plenty of time to get off work and go straight to class and make it to class on time.
Okay. Well, that is the end of the introductional questions. Now I'm going to ask you these situational questions. Basically what I'm looking for is describe the situation, how you handled it, and what was the final result.
Okay.
This position requires you to work with highly confidential information. Tell me about a time that you were given information that was so important it could not be revealed.
Okay. There's a lot of times that employees come into our office and they have issues with their supervisors or coworkers, and the information that they provide to us is very confidential. A lot of times they don't want us to tell or speak about the things that they tell us. And what I do, I don't say anything. That's not for me to tell, it's just for me to listen and kind of scope out the situation and see what's going on.
Okay. Here, when the full-time receptionist is sick or goes on vacation, you would be required to fulfill all their job duties for that day or time period, whether it be a day or a week. Tell me about a time where you had to multitask or play two roles at once.
I would say in my current position, there is a lot of times where I have a huge project. For instance, when our payroll is due once a month, and there is a lot of times where I have to stop what I'm doing and accept other assignments from my supervisor, because there are other projects that may come up in between me doing payroll in that month.
Okay. As a human resources assistant, it is important that you are timely and accurate. Describe a time where you were racing against the clock to perform a duty, and how did that turn out?
Oh, I'm sorry, I have to also use the payroll example again, because one of the biggest assignments that I have each month to do is doing our payroll we have over 100 employees. So that's a huge task each month, and it is a deadline because people want to get paid on time.
Yeah.
So so I have a huge responsibility to get that in on time, whether I am interrupted, whether I have other assignments to do within that month. I always have the responsibility and the duty to get that payroll in on time so that people can get their paychecks on time.
I assume you pay them all on time since you're still here.
Yes, I do. And even if I have to work a little late, come in to get that payroll done, that's what I would do.
Okay, awesome. Describe your experiences with Freebird, Finnerty, and St. John. Tell us about a time when you experienced a problem, and how did you overcome that problem?
Well, working there was my first receptionist kind of clerical job, and I had no idea what I was doing, how to be organized, how to work in an office environment. And I had to learn how to be professional, how to be professional over the phone. I think that was my biggest challenge. A part of my job was filling in for a receptionist, answering the phones. And part of my jobs were reaching out to the attorneys whenever they would get a phone call taking messages, and just being reliable as a receptionist. I think that's the biggest thing that you have to do, is be reliable, because you are counted on to be the face of the company. So I think that was the biggest challenge for me, and I think that was my first job that kind of started my career path in like the clerical experience, you know, and I was very fortunate to get that job.
Being a human resources assistant, you will have to work collaboratively with others. Describe a recent task or project that you worked on with others in your organization. What was your role? What challenges did you encounter, and how did that turn out?
Again, I have to do the payroll example again, because that is such a big chunk of my job. And I work closely with the accounting department. They pay the bills, and what I do each month is kind of check the pay. We have something called payroll journal, and I check it each month to make sure that everything matches up accurately. And that's my job in the payroll process. And once I do that, I go ahead and pass it on to our accounting department, so that they can go ahead and kind of apply the funds where they need to be applied.
Awesome. That concludes the situational questions I have. Are there any questions that I can answer for you that you might have about the company or the process from here on?
Yes, I do actually. I wrote them down. Okay, I have actually 2 questions for you. One is, what is the culture like here?
The culture is a very team-oriented atmosphere. We excel on our teamwork. We want everybody working together to meet the company's core goals. So it's very teamwork. You're gonna get to know your team, not just your HR friends. You're gonna go outside and you're gonna venture on and meet them. You're gonna work with everybody basically in the office. And then you're gonna you're gonna get to know people from the other station of our company. It's friendly.
Okay.
And it's very friendly. Everybody, because we work so well as a team, there's not a lot of animosity towards anybody. So yeah, it's a very open, I love working here.
Okay.
You know, I get along with everybody, and
That's cool.
haven't seen many problems that we've had to have with people not getting along with others. So.
Okay. And then the second question is, if I am offered a position here, when would I start?
Basically, when we want you to start, we want you to start as soon as possible, but we do understand, like, you have a current job that you'll need to put in your 2 weeks, your 3 weeks, whatever. So preferably, we would want you to start within 2 weeks so we can get your training and get you going right away. But hopefully within the next month, we do give new hires enough chance for a month, because I do know that some companies give, like, you have to put a 3 weeks notice in, or 2 weeks, or a month. So hopefully within 2 weeks, you would start the job, but it really depends on your employer.
Okay. That sounds great. Thank you very much.
No problem. We're going to tell you a little bit about how the process from here on out then goes. I'm going to review this with my Human Resources Director. Me and her are going to go over it. We'll talk about it a little bit. And then within the next week, you should be getting a phone call with us. We either do another interview, if she might need more information, or we call, we accept, or we decline, the position. Okay. So I would like to thank you for coming. It was very nice to meet you.
Yeah, thank you so much. This was great. I look forward to hearing from you.
Thank you.